let's get onto the video. Let's get onto the thumbnail. The thumbnail is this. The thumbnail is the following. How comedy podcast became so boring, courtesy of the channel called Moon. How comedy podcast became so boring, courtesy of the channel called Moon. If it's your first time watching the show and you're watching the show right now live and you can hear the sound of my voice and you haven't liked the stream, what's stopping you from liking the stream? Give the stream a quick little like. Give the stream a quick little like. That'd be much appreciated. If you're watching me right now, give the stream a quick little like. And whilst you're at it, why not subscribe to the channel? Why not subscribe, turn your notifications on so you're alerted when I stream, because I'm going to be streaming for the next 31 days. We're already on we're already on day 6. I'll be streaming for the next 31 days. So if you want to get notified about me and what I do, subscribe, like, turn the notification bell on. And of course, if you want to go an extra step and you want to contribute to our goal of hitting 500 members by the end of the 31 days, there's a link in the description for you to join as a member. You get exclusives to member only streams, you can chat during member only live streams, and you get access to member only videos too, which are coming soon. So make sure you click the link in the description. Cool, bless, bye.
In the last couple of years, the Rogan sphere was everywhere. All these comedians with some of the most influential podcasts around, even being credited as getting Trump into power. This ragtag group of random comedians were now hosting major...
Hold on, did I watch this already? I watched this already, didn't I? I think I watched this already. I'm pretty sure I watched this already. I don't know why I'm bugging out. My brain is breaking. I'm pretty sure I watched this already. So let's skip this one. I'm pretty sure I watched this already, but you can check out yourself. It's called that. Comedy podcast became so boring. Check it out yourself, but I'm pretty sure I watched this already, so we won't watch that. We're gonna move on to the next video. We're gonna move on to Patrick CC. Oh yeah, true. Okay, cool. Let's just watch it then. If I was half awake, then we'll just watch it. I completely forgot, but I'm sure I watched it, so maybe I wasn't in my best form. So let's go again. Round 2. Coil up. Thank you. Reverse it. Let's go.
Celebrities to field experts and political candidates. If you needed good PR, you'd need to go on one of these podcasts. But now, the Rogan sphere is just a joke at this point, and people are completely sick of it. These people are no longer renegade thinkers fighting to have their voices heard when everyone else was trying to silence them. They're just comedians saying whatever they think comments will like, making the same points and jokes over and over again, all to ensure they continue to have any relevancy whatsoever.
I'd push back on that. I don't think they're saying things that comments will like. I think they're saying things that advertisers will like. Things that'll keep the lights on. It's not about the comments. I don't think they care about appeasing their viewers. They just care about making sure they keep the lights on, they pay their bills, they pay their fucking G-Wagon car note.
People are just sick of it at this point. I mean, it's so bad that Joe Rogan's podcast was finally dethroned as the #1 podcast on Spotify.
To be fair, I think these lists are fake anyway. I'm not gonna lie. I think these lists for top podcasts are fake because I'm on the internet. Some would say I'm fucking on social media all the fucking time. And I can swear to God, I've never seen a clip from the Mel Robbins show podcast in my life. I've never seen a clip. I've seen a clip of this guy's show, Ryan Shaw. I've seen a clip of fucking Candace's show. But I don't think I've ever seen a clip from the Mel Robbins podcast on one time on my fucking timeline. Not once. And you know what? I'm actually gonna check now. I want to check out my fucking Twitter, because usually the place where I see all my things in terms of podcast stuff, and unfortunately, because I'm not really on Instagram that much, but the first time, wow! I just saw the headline. Hold on, I just saw this headline. Cardi B wins 24 million. Big up Cardi B. Let's see. Let me. What's her name again? What's her name? Mel something, right? What's her name? Mel Robbins. Let's see if we can find her page. Mel Robbins. There we go. So I've not seen a single clip. Oh, she's not even got any clips posted. Hold on. Mel Robbins podcast. She doesn't have any clips on Twitter. Maybe she might have some on Instagram then. Let's see. 1 second, I'll put the screen back. Apologies for me. One second. I just want to make sure there's no fucking corn on here. Okay. She's not on. Mel Robbins is not popular on Instagram. Maybe she's popular on Instagram then. So she's not popular on Twitter. Maybe she's popular on Instagram. Let me check out if she's got an Instagram. Is there an Instagram for this podcast? Yeah, there is. Boom. I've never seen a clip from this show once. Honestly, I've never seen a clip in my entire life. Have you guys seen a clip on this? The Mel Robbins podcast, 1.9 million followers, hosted by Mel Robbins. And how many followers does she have? She's on 11.1. I don't even know who she is. Who the fuck is she? What does she do? Who the fuck is Mel Robbins? Who's that? What does she actually do anyway? What is she, an author? Who is she? Mel Robbins is a creator. Oh, she's a creator of the pod. She didn't do anything before that. She's creator of the podcast only. Fair play. Oh, is she who the fuck is this lady? She grew up in Kansas. She does a TED talk. Wow, okay. Let's check out the clips then. I'm curious to see what the I'm guessing it's just motivational stuff, right? Let's see.
Is what
she's got this fucking this guy. He seems like a crook. I'm not gonna lie. This Asian dude with the fucking green eyes, he seems like a crook. There's something about this guy that seems, I don't know what it is about him, but there's something about this guy. He just seems like a crook.
has
Allegedly
been seen as the #1 cause of stress. You write about this in the book, in people's lives. How can the let them theory help people in the place that causes them the most stress?
It's an excellent question. So first, let me...
It feels like a parody, isn't it? It's weird. It feels like a parody, doesn't it? It feels like a parody.
No pun intended. Let me explain the theory. The theory is very simple. It is a mindset tool that instantly helps you identify what's in your control and what's not in your control. The reason why this is important is because any psychologist will tell you that if you focus and try to manage things that are never going to be within your control, it only creates stress, anxiety, and frustration for you. When you take the context of work, there is so much inside your day-to-day life at work that is irritating, it is stressful.
That one. So, big up Koila. It's complete motivational prattle. Jay Shetty is a cuttlefish. Fake male feminist clout demon. Yo, talking about cuttlefish. That's it. Cuttlefish and asparagus. Cuttlefish and asparagus. I remember this, bro. This is a song I used to play during my sets. I don't know why you said cuttlefish. What's the fucking... Is it Get Down? Is the song called Get Down? That's the one. Dun-dun-dun. I don't know why I remember that. Jesus Christ. I don't know why I fucking remember that. But I remember this is one of the songs I used to play back in the day in my sets. Oh my god. That's Jay Shetty. That when I see his face, that's what I think of. But yeah, I don't know. Like, what else does she do on this show? What else does she do? Any other videos? Who's this
Let's
person?
talk about what it means to be excellent. I really understand the power of like how you do anything is how you do everything. And this idea of excellence, of taking it seriously, how you wake up in the morning.
Come on, man. Give us a break, man. Give us a break, bro. Like, honestly, lay off it. Lay off it, bro. Like, enough.
Of taking it seriously, how you prepare your breakfast, taking it seriously, how you show up in work, how you see people. Like, do you go morning or do you go morning? How are you?
Ma'am, I'm struggling to keep the lights on. I don't have a fucking pass for the underground. I'm jumping the gates and I'm 47 years old. I don't have trainers. I wear one pair of shoes. I got one pair of underwear. I don't have time to fucking have a fucking Joker wild smile on my face every day in the morning. I'm just trying to stay alive, you know? This woman, man, these people, these motivational speakers, they're so fucking detached from reality. Let's see another clip of her. Why your 20s feel so overwhelming? Because you're a fucking pussy, probably. Let's see.
What are some of the things that 20-somethings feel a lot of anxiety about that might surprise somebody who's not in their 20s to hear causes anxiety?
I gotta start playing pianos. I'm gonna do that now. Actually, I'm gonna find copyright free. I want to make an AI. I'm gonna make a music bed with a piano, with a soft piano. I'm just talking nonsense. I don't know. When I make another clip for John Geiger shoes, I'm gonna have a piano playing as a bass, you know, as the bed of that video, so it kind of makes it sound a bit more oomphy, you know.
In that decade.
What is so difficult about the 20s is that it's the most uncertain time of life. So it's probably the only time in your life where everything is uncertain all at the same.
Never trust somebody who can't really open their mouth when they speak. You know, people that don't open their mouths, have like really small mouths. I find them very untrustworthy.
Same time. So work is uncertain, love is uncertain, finances are uncertain, the brain is still developing, emotional stability is still coming together. So, you know, I think most of us in 30s or 40s or 50s, maybe we have, you know, work goes sideways or romance is blowing up. But for 20 somethings, everything is uncertain. At worst, at once, the brain really hates that. The brain interprets uncertainty as danger. So 20 somethings are walking around in a pretty low level state of sort of chronic stress and anxiety around everything.
Anyway, I don't give a flying fuck. Anyway, like I said, those lists are fake. Those lists are fake because I've never seen a clip of that woman's. I've just watched it right now, and the podcast looks boring as fuck. Or not even boring. I feel like I've seen a rotation of those guests on other shows, you know? And she's number one allegedly. So these lists are made up.
And it makes a lot of sense. His YouTube views are down, there's more hate than ever, and people just don't really seem to care about any of these people's opinions anymore. With Joe Rogan, people comment all the time that he's increasingly out of touch, and seemingly only complaining on his podcast rather than making jokes.
And then I'm reading the comments where some guy was like, yeah, well, you guys aren't talking about is how much it costs to buy a sauna. You're making it seem like it's all free. And like what are you supposed to do? Like, every fucking thing? Like, I'm sorry if you're broke.
Oh, no, you have... Losing the curiosity, humor, and humility that had once drawn him this huge audience in the first place.
Going back on Joey Joe, he's like the biggest podcast. I never actually listened to him. So I listened to an episode and I'm like, oh, he's actually, respectfully, very dumb.
You know what's really annoying nowadays? Because everyone's aware of podcasts and everyone's aware of Rogan, everyone's meeting Rogan at his worst. So me as a former fan, I can't argue. It's hard to argue and convince people that Rogan was once really good, really influential, really fucking... He'd kind of grab your attention, hold your attention with the shows, with the guests. There'd be a lot of really big aha moments and laughs and jokes and sometimes tears. But when somebody listens to Rogan now, they can't understand why people like myself and you and others and people around the world were fans. You're like, what the fuck are you? You like this guy? He sounds like a fucking idiot. You know, this is not funny. This is fucking boring. It's fucking 3 hours. But in the past, I used to get through Rogan free. I think Rogan kind of like taught me how to have endurance when it comes to podcasts, when it comes to just talking in general, you know? I think I might have got that from Rogan. I think I might have felt it's completely normal to just sit down and listen to somebody speak for 3 hours plus, you know? But now you try and get someone to listen to Rogan and you're like, oh, you feel bad if you feel bad if you make your friend listen to Rogan now, because you deep down know he's fucking shit. So it's an unfortunate time. But big up fucking PewDiePie. Absolute content legend. This one more time. That was a great little clip.
First place.
Going back on Joey Joe, he's like the biggest podcast. I never actually listened to him. So I listened to an episode and I'm like, oh, he's actually, respectfully, very dumb. I saw some like meme where it kind of just showed him as a caveman and then he bring in like a scientist and be like, you.
By the way, those headphones, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? The size of those fucking... But I'm assuming that those are probably one of those really expensive, high fidelity, incredible sound type of headphones, right? Because look at the fucking ear cups on those. That looks like, you know those little plates, you know those little saucepans. You have those little mini omelette or egg saucepans, right? That you can cook an egg on it, like an egg muffin egg. That's what it looks like. It's huge, isn't it? It's just preposterously huge.
Explain fire now. Oh.
Now obviously he's not going anywhere anytime soon, but it's proof that this unstoppable Rogan sphere is now finally starting to decline, as it's not just Joe Rogan.
Finally, you know, finally, people were looking forward, didn't it? people were looking forward to this, isn't it? People were looking forward to this, isn't it? Oh, we got quite like, okay, big back, exactly. Mentioning Egg McMuffins. But yeah, people were really looking forward to Joe Rogan's downfall. Me personally, I'm still, you know me, I love a good comeback story. I love a redemption arc. I would love it if Rogan got to a point where he started just invite guests on who disagree with you. You don't have to change the show, but just have somebody on that can argue the other side. Please, man, please. Oh yeah. But he won't even do that. So we'll probably, you know, the good old days of Rogan have definitely gone. They would no longer be around. That guy is a completely different person now, unfortunately.
Vaughn's podcast dropped from number 4 to number 7, and Andrew Schultz's podcast viewership has shrunk quite significantly. But these guys are the only ones who are still relevant today. If we look at the other comedians surrounding the Rogan sphere, like Brennan Schwab and Brian Callen, it's a whole other story. They're the co-hosts of the Fight.
How do you pronounce his name?
The Rogan sphere, like Brennan Schwab and Brian.
Brennan Schwab? Was it Schwab? I wonder how it's actually pronounced. Does Brennan even pronounce his own surname right? Is it Schwab or Schwab? Schwab or Schwab? I wonder how it's actually pronounced. Or does Brennan just get his own? He just pronounced his own second name terribly. Schwab or Schwab?
Ones who are still relevant today. If we look at the other comedians surrounding the Rogan sphere, like Brennan Schwab and Brian Callen, it's a whole other story. They're the co-hosts of the Fighter and the Kid podcast, and at this point, it's just a complete joke. Not only are they completely torn to shred by their viewers, the subreddit completely mocks them, and they have no real true fan base, but they also just seemingly aren't funny at all.
The Reddit, and again, think about it this way. Rogan gave Brendan and Brian the biggest gift he could ever give them, which was being their friend and allowing them to go on the JRE for all those years, to the point where Brendan at one point had the most solo appearances on the JRE of any guest. But he also gave them the wrong advice, because this particular stream, this particular cotton industry where you take the piss out of comedy podcasts only exists because Brendan decided to listen to Rogan's advice and not read comments. He decided to have this kind of adversarial relationship when it came to the Reddit, when it came to the fans in general. And it created the problem that we have now. It created this industry, right, of like comedy, podcasts, commentators, channels and shit. It created a whole thing because Brendan wanted to be like Rogan, and Rogan's a big dog, Rogan's this, Rogan's that. So if Rogan doesn't read comments, I don't read comments, you know? And it ended him up in a situation where he couldn't laugh at himself. He couldn't just poke fun at what he was doing. He always had to be a serious thing to kind of prove to the trolls that he was better than what they said he was. So Rogan kind of fucked Brendan and Brian in a way by making them believe that fucking comments and replies from fans or trolls were an act of violence or should not be fucking looked at or taken seriously. I always like, come on, bro, it's not that serious.
With their comedy specials completely bombing.
I bet Sharp could get you in. All right.
It seems like they're doing everything they can to maintain some sort of viewership. And it seems like some of the issues here isn't just Joe Rogan's dwindling influence, but also overcalculating the move to Austin, as it doesn't look like the holy move to Austin by all these comedians went as expected.
By the way, anyone else notice the guests have completely dried up? Also, wasn't there meant to be a show today? Wasn't there meant to be a show today? I'm pretty sure they dropped their show on Tuesdays, right? Or not, yesterday. So did Brian Callen miss a show? Did Brian Callen miss an episode of T-Fat-K again? And a Patreon, I think. Because I'm sure they're meant to drop the Patreon today, no? So this move to Austin has been a fucking horror show. There's no new guests that go on their show, and Callen's been missing more shows in Austin than he's ever missed when he was in LA for those 10 years that he was there, or whatever, however long they were there. Fucking wild scenes.
He randomly texted me. I don't know if he knew I moved or something like that. And he's like, check it in, man, blah, blah, blah. You going through a tough time? And I was like, I just moved to Austin, man. Yeah, I'm trying to find my way. How long did it take you to get, like, you know, back in routine and feeling comfortable? It was 3 years. I went, what? He goes, yeah, tough 3 years.
Other members of the Rogans feel like Shane Gillis and Tim Dillon at least have no qualms about voicing their distaste for Austin.
You know what's really interesting about Brendan he's clearly got no friends in it, but he's also enjoying being in Texas because I imagine people there are just a way more approachable and chilled than they are in LA. There's not probably as much pretense in Austin as there was in LA, so he's finding it easy to adjust. Obviously he has something in common with a lot of these guys because they play baseball, but I see him kind of, you know, looking happier, or I see, you know, him looking happier anyway, because he's clearly got a, you know, a good little circle of quote-unquote homies and beer guys, whatever, neighbors next door they can kind of hang out with, which is definitely important.
I hated it. And I was vocal about it. I told everyone I hated it, and you know, I hated everyone I met, and all of the things that people were doing I hated, and you know, everyone there was like, this is the next city,
Right.
and I didn't get it. The lake is the color of sewage, but this idea that there's no homeless people there
They're there.
is a lie.
Everything, I have no power for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Texas blows.
I didn't know that.
So, dude, the second you
Move
run
back, Shane. Come on.
Just say I went to Austin, and gotta tell you that Austin, that city is a boiling pot of evil goo.
In fact, it seems like that almost.
I think if you're smart though, they should have done what I think. What's his fucking name? That black guy that used to help out fucking Brendan. He was smart. I think the only way moving to Austin would help is if you're an up and comer, and if you went immediately as Joe moved over there. As soon as Joe moved, especially when he was in his first red studio, that red tube thing, if you were there already milling around, sucking dick, just trying to be fucking friendly, that would have probably gotten you a jump up when it comes to being considered for, you know, comedy mothership. You would imagine anyway. So I think that was the real error in that regard.
Eager to let everyone know how much Texas sucks, especially for comedians. Apparently Tim Dillon was so fed up with Austin and the whole Rogan Sphere comedian base that he could only
Big up Gitsy.
Brendan moves back to LA after this expensive failure in a long list of failures. Vape, that my time, I'll stain. Imagine being the Slate 2 THW party.
I wonder, man. I would love to know. Big up Gitsy. I would love to know why Brendan didn't move there sooner. Like, why didn't he go when everyone else went? Why did they just hang around in LA? Was it because of this misplaced delusion that Brendan thought he was going to replace Rogan? So he stayed in LA hoping that when Rogan left, he would fill that void? I wonder, which is fucking bizarre to think of if that's the case. Yeah. And I just wonder, like, whether or not actually the real reason is Joanna. Maybe when when Rogan first announced his moving to fucking Austin, he most likely told his close group of friends, maybe a group chat and shit. But I could imagine a scenario where that lady just would not have it, you know? Like, she would just, back then especially. Maybe now she probably changed her mind because the money's running low, so she probably thought, you know what, this is self-serving. If I can get more out of less, and I'm still going to buy my bags and fair play. So I think that's what basically happened. But I would love to know what actually was the cause. Why didn't Brendan actually go when everyone else went? Why did he wait so long?
stand being there for 3 months before moving back to Los Angeles of all places. However, before we continue, we need to understand what's really happening with AI automation right now. Companies are using AI in everything, and the truth is, your ability to adapt to AI will determine your future career. Which is why I normally find the best people that we can play when you're and join their wars.
Good ad, by the way. I quite like when people do this sort of stuff. I don't mind these sort of ads that are like integrated in a clever way. It kind of carries on from this topic that you've been watching beforehand. I kind of like it. It feels seamless.
Community to receive all updates.
But I moved here because first and foremost, I said something new will be good. I was wrong. Yeah. So when Joe wants to create a comedy hub here, God bless him, but he's fighting against a current, and cultures matter, and this culture has been around for a very long time. And I have no interest in colonizing a city and making people
You know what doesn't get mentioned enough about the move to Austin, Texas? Am I mistaken in remembering that when Rogan was on his fucking fuck LA, anti-Newsom, anti-this, anti-that wave, was I mistaken in thinking that Rogan's one of his main things was also like, in order to spike the comedy store, also have like a theater or something, you know? It's not just a club, but an actual theater. and having it next to where the other thing. I mean, I'm sure that was something that he was talking about. I'm sure it was. If that's the case, that's fucking hilarious. It really fucking is. Because all it does is just help the punters, isn't it? But obviously the comedians scream at each other for the punters. It's all fucking well and good. But I do remember there was a time when these motherfuckers actually thought they could replace Hollywood with their version of Hollywood in fucking Texas. You know? That's the crazy shit. Like, they went to replace that. They were like, nah, you know what I mean? It's like, interesting. But anyway, let's continue.
Making it into a great comedy city. I don't care about comedy and me and this show. It is not the move. Austin has many of the problems of Los Angeles. A lot of the homeless people. I don't give a fuck about Austin. I love Texas, but I don't care what happens to the comedy community of Austin, Texas. I don't care. It has been forever a community of sloth-like people.
But Brendan Schwab, on the other hand, seems quite determined to hide how miserable he is by talking about how lit the city is. But it seems like nobody believes him about this, not even other comedians in the same space as him, as he had to downgrade his podcast studio into a storage unit studio in the middle of nowhere with a ridiculously loud AC.
But I will say this, you're talking about
those first couple of weeks, man. Chef's kiss. Those first couple of weeks were so fucking good. Seeing Casey trying to walk in between fucking chairs, then cutting it after, like, oh my god, those fucking, oh, so good, man, so fucking good.
What is that noise? It's AC. It kicks on for a little bit. It'll turn off. Don't worry.
But along with motion sensor lights,
no Chin, we're gonna worry. It kicks in a bit, then it's gonna go off. Don't worry. No Chin, I'm worried. If you're the producer, if you're this, whatever, you're skilled, you should be able to say, yep, it's off for now, and it's going to be on later. You know what I mean? Come on, bro. Yeah, leave it there, leave it there. Let's continue.
The turn off during the podcast. Some people are even speculating that he might be hoping someone will steal the cars in his studio so that he can claim the insurance money and quit. But
Great
funnily
theory.
enough, it seems like the move to Austin marked the slow decline of the entire Rogan Sphere podcast group. While Austin is a great city and might have better tax benefits than California, the fact that all these Californians are moving from LA to Austin has just brought the same issues over. Meaning Austin's just a smaller version of LA, but on top of that, there's none of the benefits of LA. Not many people actually live there, and guests to any of these podcasts will have to go out of their way if they want to appear on one of the road.
Really? Population of Austin. Right, is that it? 989,000. Shit. Fucking hell. 989,000. Fucking hell. I didn't know there's that little people there.
Rogan Sphere's podcasts. Instead of being in the hub of media, they're basically slap bang in the middle of nowhere in America. And while this won't be such an issue for someone like Joe Rogan, all the others in the Rogan Sphere don't have that same kind of influence or funds.
People are saying that's the reason why the Joe Rogan podcast is flopping. It's not as good as it once was because of the location. They can only attract a certain level of guests. So it kind of, they're basically trying to say that maybe, the suggestion is that maybe Rogan took for granted how many guests he was getting just because he was in LA. Obviously his podcast is still popular and good and whatnot back then, but I wonder if a lot of those guests came on his pod because they happened to be in LA. He was one of the biggest, the biggest platform. Why wouldn't you go there, you know? I get it.
To either willingly fly someone out just to spend a few hours on a podcast, or even try to convince someone to fly out to Austin in the first place to be on one of these podcasts. And so because there's so many of these same comedians in the same
We got Jasper, favorite Brendan moment. Might have to be the one, you know, weirdly enough, I always say my favorite Brendan lie is the Moon Tower Comedy Club lie, or the Moon Tower Comedy Festival lie. But you know what, one of my really not undercover, but maybe not mentioned a lot moment of Brendan was? Do you remember that time when they were doing the Calabasas Fight Companion, and Bradley Martin was about to read out the fucking messages in the chat, and Brendan started panicking like, no, just let's do our own thing, man. Let's do our own thing. That was so good. You see the panic and the dread on his face when Bradley Martin was saying he was going to read the chat. He did not want that. That made my favorite moment. I'm not gonna lie, that made me my favorite Brendan moment. He was so scared. We got mine's John Africa. Always makes me laugh for no reason. Yeah. Who the fuck is John Africa? Yeah, Tyson makes that good. Maybe can we watch it again? Yeah, we'll watch it again. Why not? What's it called again? What did I say? Bradley Martin comments. Yes, that's here. Yeah, this is the one. 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 Found it, and I've upvoted it too. So that's definitely the one because I upvoted it back in the day. I'd give it a little upvote there. Let's see. This is the one. This is the one. This is the one.
Dominic.
Is this live?
Jimmy Rivera's a world champion.
He's got a throw.
Oh, that's a tough
Is there like a
fucking
chat
gig.
Can we see the? Can I see?
Oh, Sean just got hit.
Yeah, I want to see the chat. I love
You don't want to see the chat.
I want to see the chat, bro.
Oh,
I love the
geez.
chat.
Oh, this
I'm a
kid.
streamer.
This kid's got
I use
he
Twitch,
got a
dude.
chin.
I want to interact with the
Oh,
chat.
God,
dude. Give me the
He
chat.
don't move his head.
This is
Oh,
Don't tell us so we can just keep doing
Go.
our
Yeah,
thing.
you go on your phone. Yeah, just
okay,
go to
okay.
the-
Don't
just,
tell us because we
just
just want to
turn
keep
the
doing our
volume
thing. Bradley, don't tell us. We want to keep doing our thing.
He said it 3 times. He was so scared. Don't tell us to do our thing. Don't tell us to do that thing. Don't tell us. He was so scared. I love this moment.
Interact with the
Oh,
chat.
oh,
dude. Give me the
He don't
chat.
move
This
his head.
is
Oh,
Don't tell us so we can just keep doing
Go.
our
Yeah,
thing.
you go on your
yo.
phone. Yeah, just
Okay,
go to
okay.
Don't
just,
tell us because we just
just
want
turn
to
the
keep doing
volume
our
down.
thing. Bradley, don't
Give me the
he
chat.
don't move his
This
head.
is
Oh,
okay.
don't tell
yeah.
us so we can just keep doing
Go.
our
Yeah,
thing.
you go on your
yo.
phone. Yeah, just
Okay,
go to
okay.
Don't
just,
tell us because we just
just
want
turn
to
the
keep doing
volume
our
down.
thing. Bradley, don't
What?
tell us we want to keep doing our thing. I don't be
Yeah,
swayed
yeah.
by the
Don't worry.
chatter.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
don't tell us. You're gonna fucking. You're gonna tell.
Look at that room, though, man. Look at the size of that room. That room is maybe bigger than the entire studio space they have now in Austin. That room might be bigger than the entire space they have in Austin, Texas now. Crazy. That was just one room. One room of like 7, 1 out of 7. But yeah, that's my favorite moment. That's honestly my favorite moment. I swear to God.
Space. In this relatively small city, it just means the whole Rogan sphere's become a giant circle jerk. Everyone tells the same jokes.
Yeah, big up Keith T. Joe went downhill much like when Papa when he started inserting himself in the expert conversation. I've always wondered, like, what happened with. I get it with Brendan because Brendan's a fucking dingbat, right? And he's a narcissist and shit, whatever, right? So I get why and he's also got that. I think some people have that brain where because he's successful at podcasting or he made money at podcasting, he almost thinks that applies across the board to every other field of life. But with Rogan, I'm surprised that he went down that route. Like you notice it a lot when he has like historians on. Before in the past, if he had a historian on, he'd be very deferential, right? He'd defer a lot to the historian. But now I've noticed whenever he has somebody on that has some sort of experience, some sort of knowledge, some sort of accreditation, whatever, when it comes to history, Joe Rogan will really go to bat and try and argue with them about certain points, So it's clear that, like, I don't know, it's clear that he sees himself as an expert in a lot of fields, basically. He's not the guy that like brings on somebody that knows that's the foremost expert in quantum science. He will bring that quantum science person on, and then you start talking to them about some research paper that he read. That's not fucking. He's a wild guy. He's a wild fucking guy, man.
Everyone thinks the same stuff. Everyone has the same political talking points. All with the exact same guests who fly over and do a podcast circuit around Austin. And that's when viewers began to realize that most of these comics weren't as funny or as insightful as they seemed to think.
I think Instagram, also social media, fucked these guys up. When they started posting their clips, I think when we saw what they actually did on stage, I think a lot of us, myself included, lost hope. Because the way they were talking about fucking stand-up, like this life or death thing that they pour their heart and soul into and all of this, and then you see the realness, it's like, no, most of the work gets done before they even step into the car. They have an entire team that looks after them to perform their best and shit, but it's like, they're talking about it like it was the most high-stake thing in the world. It's like, no, not really. But then again, every sport has its own struggles and pain points and shit.
In fact, they all just seemed the exact same. All these podcasts became almost indistinguishable. Everyone just trying to replicate Joe Rogan's success with a slightly worse podcast. It's getting so bad that...
That's a really good point, by the way. That's a really good point. Everyone just trying to replicate Rogan's success with just a slightly tweaked and more unfunny one. Makes complete sense.
Brandon Schwab is literally selling knockoff hair gel at this point just to pay the bills. And while it can be interesting to have comedy podcasters talk about...
Big up Black American, he solidified into a boomer mentality. He'd rather protect his beliefs and positions than keep listening and learning. Yeah, of course. You're definitely right, Black American, but I don't know. I'm just still dumbfounded how it happened overnight so quickly. One moment Rogan was tolerable, bearable, okay. And next moment he just turns into whatever he's into now. It's so bizarre. It's not like he's got pressures from the outside. I don't know. He doesn't sound like somebody that wilts under pressure. Just does it all for the love. It's like, really, for the love? Fair enough.
About politics, it soon became obvious that they were just pandering to whatever was the current narrative. Picking sides during the election kind of made sense, but when the dust settled in America, all the Rogan's Fear podcasters had to start changing their tune.
People that like, they'll DM me and be like, you see what your boy's doing? You voted for this. I'm like, I voted for none of this. He's doing the exact opposite of everything I voted for. I want him to stop the wars. He's funding them. I want him to shrink spending, reduce the budget. He's increasing it. It's like everything that he said he...
If I was Trump as well, I would start writing names. If I was Trump and I gave some of these guys a look with one of the biggest interviews they've ever had in their entire lives, I'd give these guys a fucking side eye. You know, I'd fucking cross their names out for the fucking Jubilee celebrations, whatever they're doing. Because Jesus Christ, man, they both went inside yapping away. Both teams yapping away. So, yeah, the yapping is annoying.
He's going to do except sending immigrants back.
Meaning it was difficult for anyone to actually take them at their word anymore. Now, of course, comedians are allowed to have political views and they're allowed to have them change, as comedians are often the ones pointing out the flaws in the system in the first place. But the issue is when it gets preachy.
Let's relax. They don't point out any flaws in the system. They just try and tell shitty jokes in an attempt to get better Netflix rates and to fuck. Come on, let's be real.
Repetitive and just so monotonous, where you'll find a comedian lecturing you and polarizing you about repetitive topics that probably you just want to get away from in the first place.
Now we're watching it really heavy now. People
big up Black American. I don't think it was overnight. He started having Peterson and Harris on 8 years ago. The Moo Cow Man was yeah too. But again, I don't think that's also the answer, because back then Jordan Peterson wasn't as unhinged as he is now, you know? Sam Harris also wasn't. They were somewhat reasonable. If anything, Sam Harris and Jordan Peterson got on back then. They don't anymore. So I just would like to know what is it about this movie that's but again, it's cans in it. Everyone cries at fucking cans. There should be fucking napkins permanently under some of these tables at cans. It's fucking crazy.
grift to a side politically is so fucking funny to me.
It's wild. We're seeing, we know who these people are.
Yeah, like if
we know who these comedians are. Like, we're talking about comics, and we're just like, it's so funny. Like, the comics that we know that are like, everyone's doing well, everyone's like going on the road, but they're doing. There's people doing so well with this grift.
Yeah.
We're all just sitting here like in disbelief.
If you go on any of Joe Rogan's recent podcasts or the Joe Rogan subreddit, you'll just see that most people were so bored with the recent guests, especially when all the Rogan's Fear comedians talk about the same stuff, like elk meat, ice baths, MMA guests, and boring cold
elk meat, ice baths, and MMA. That's such a good way to surmise Joe Rogan, isn't it? Big up Black American as well. It was a slow grind, that turbo jump during the vid. Yep, Jordan Peterson was still unhinged as Aziz. He used to say women shouldn't wear makeup at work if they didn't want to be Oh yeah, I remember that point. Man, do you remember that point we used to make about red lipstick? Was that Jordan Peterson one? Red lipstick? What's the other one he said? But I think he got broken when, what's her fucking name? When something Wise, Shelly Wise or Nancy Wise, whatever her fucking name was, when she fucking announced that they were engaged or something, I think that's when she fucking got messed up. I think so, but I could be wrong.
culture war talking points, or even just these comedians completely ignoring what their guest has to say. It's all ironic, as this focus on politics over comedy has turned the Rogan's Fear and Austin's comedy scene into just a bad circle jerk joke, and other comedians are now starting to call them out on it. Bill Burr and Mark...
Oh, don't say that. Is that true? I hate that happens. Big up Brendan Murray. Joe had Guy Fieri on a few months ago and was being a complete prick to him the whole time. That's the thing that really annoys about Rogan. You'll have a run of having some shitty guests that you don't give a fuck about. Then one person that you do like comes on screen you like. But then, the whole hater in him can't fucking let her win, and then he's off the profile. What an absolute piece of shit. But yeah, let's check this out.
Maron in particular have no issue calling the Rogan's Fear out. And while Burr wasn't pulling any punches, he was a bit more diplomatic about how he addressed the issue.
There's an ugliness that's out there right now where, there's certain podcasts out there that if you're a racist, if you're an anti-Semite, if you're a psycho nationalist and you want a softball interview,
Basically,
there's
yeah.
podcasts out there where you can, and they will laugh at your fucking bad jokes and just give you this pass. And it's like, you know, there's a really ugly thing that's going on out there, and the kind of things we've already seen this, and we've seen what it does to a nation, and it's not the way to go. It's not the way to go.
What do you feel about politicians and billionaires who've appeared on podcasts of your peers to try to leverage comedy for their own goals?
Oh, dude, it was before that. I remember the first time I saw a president go on the Tonight Show. I thought it was cheapening The Office. It's like they never did that. They used to run for office. They would have the debates, and they wouldn't even go on Meet the Press. So, but I just feel like now that everybody has a camera and blah, 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 it's just so all over the place. I just think the landscape of it has changed. All I can say is personally, I would never do it. I would never have somebody come on that's running for fucking president with my intellect. I'm not going to sit there and be like, what are your...
Again, I think that I know he's only joking, but I think the intellect thing is also a bit of a cop-out. Everyone, whenever they meet him, are like, oh my God, you look so smart, you seem so smart. You know what I mean? It's sort of cop-out. He hasn't got no of those fucking artillery boots on your fucking whip and shit, you know what I mean? So I hate all that stuff when it comes to that sort of stuff. Let's continue.
What's your foreign policy? Like, I would be like within 3 minutes. Dude, what was your favorite?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm going to say. It's easy enough, I think. I don't think it's that difficult to pose like 3 to 5 questions to the fucking president or whatever that you've gathered from all the responses you've gathered, you know? All the responses you gathered, put into a spreadsheet, whatever the most common word is, keep using that one. Do you get me? So I think that was what should have been done here.
Super Bowl. The people that read and the people that are the subject of what you're reading. You know what I mean? There's people that like discover shit and figure shit out, and then there's the people that read it. Like the amount of people that can explain the theory of relativity. There's probably not a lot of people, but they can do it. But then there's this ego thing that because now I can explain it like I'm somehow Einstein adjacent. It's like, no, you're not. You just read
Einstein adjacent, exactly. He's really describing as well. He's also almost describing fucking what's his face? Coffee guy. I swear he's exposing him. I swear down. I swear he's exposing Coffee guy. I swear. Let's play.
Read some smart shit.
Yeah. Now, this isn't to say Burr is innocent of polarizing his audience. Especially in recent years, he's been saying some really questionable stuff.
It's so fucking, these fucking billionaires, they need to be put down. You know, like fucking rabid dogs.
But where he differs from the Rogan sphere is that he makes a point of angering everyone. As Conan puts it, no one's happy when he's talking.
The left have been really embracing you, and they're sharing your videos.
No, that's not true, dude.
Certain parts of the left.
That's not true. That's not true.
Certain portions of the left.
That's not true. That fucking shit post Me Too, where it went from people shouldn't sexually assault people, absolutely, to I don't like what you're talking about in your act, was fucking nuts. It was McCarthyism on the left. And now you've gone to the other side on the right.
Mark, on the other hand, had no issue calling Joe Rogan and his buddies out by name.
There's two people that are the pioneers in terms of comedy.
Who would have thought, man? Who would have thought that guy would have shook up so much in the comedy industry? Mark Maron went on a promo run. Mark Maron's promo run for fucking that special, that will go down in history, man, as one of the best promo ones ever. The amount of shows that he did, the gigs, the this, the that, like, God almighty. He went fucking in. I love it. I love it. But big up Moon. The video's available down there. You can check out for yourself. It's called How Comedy Podcast Became So Boring.